You are listening to Canonn Faction News.
Hello there, all of you out there listening in Canonn space. This is Nicholas Powell, acting as Colonia correspondent for Canonn Faction News. Item. It's been a week since the state opening of Arcanon's legacy here in Colonia, or Nuvar as it's now also often referred to. Nuvarati had been a popular name for the system and had indeed won the vote, but as you all know, Colonia won through. And some of you have had questions as to why. Well, it's simple enough, really. The residents of our colony might primarily be drawn from Eureka back in old Varati, but they all come from across Canonn space back in the bubble. We've even got a few from Timakani, which is no doubt a pleasant surprise for any Canonn historians listening. To reflect that wider origin, the people of the colony decided on Colonia as the official name. But as I say, the name Nuvar has become something of a local nickname. Well, it's quicker to write, isn't it? Item. The Colonia Olympics have concluded. It seems the Canonn didn't come away with any gold trophies, but then Canonn attendance of the events was, well, admittedly low, and the scheduling was unfortunate, with most colonial cannoneers engaged in lengthy support work in fully establishing our sovereignty over our home system out here in the second bubble. Item. Alongside gains in our own home system, we have effected a diplomatic presence in the two neighbouring systems. Firstly, that of the colonists of Aurora, and more recently that of the, and forgive the pronunciation here, the Societas Hereditorum de Civitas Dei over in Pergamon. Both factions, you know what, I'm just going to call them the Society from now on, but both factions have also effected a parallel presence here, though diplomatic efforts by Admiral DeLuffy and myself have kept things from spilling into, well, acrimonious nonsense we can all do without. Of note, however, is the strikingly different nature of those two factions, the Aurora colonists being a colonial movement sponsored by the anti-slavery Imperial faction, the Prismatic Imperium, and the Society being a dictatorial faction who deem slavery a legal practice. While we remain as ever neutral in the affairs of other factions, the possibility of a flare-up of, shall we say, disagreements between those two governments is something that we are keeping on our radar. Needless to say, should tensions between them result in trouble in Nuvar or Arcanon's legacy itself, system authority forces and colonial cannoneers are ready and prepared to intervene in the interests of our citizens' security. Item. Despite the oodles and oodles of mining locations within the system, piracy continues to forestall any benefit to our local market, and while miners, including cannoneers, continue to bring in metals and minerals and even water to support the industries of Arcanon's legacy, a production deficit is expected to remain in effect for the foreseeable future. Cannoneers have been supplementing both the import of these resources through mining and trade, but also through their support of the system authority by means of extremely effective bounty hunting patrols. I say extremely effective, I mean extremely profitable. A surprising number of rogue Canonn vessels continue to be spotted engaged in piracy, leading to calls to tighten our factional ship registration policies, something which is being discussed throughout Canonn space and only goes to reinforce the fact that while we may be over 20,000 light years from the rest of you, Nuvar is most certainly as much Canonn as anywhere else. Only, you know, somewhat more awkward to visit. Item. Tourism continues to attract several liners to Arcanon's legacy, a state of affairs which is frankly baffling to us. The incessant arrival of beluga spaceliners at our docking pads has led to, shall we say, rowdy incidents at the dockside, involving cannoneers frustrated by the delays in pad availability. The fact that the tourists themselves never fail to complain to the liner crew and force them to take off again in short order only heightens the absurdity of this situation. Needless to say, should any tourism companies be listening, I can assure you that your complaints against us and our commanders' attitudes towards your crews are being reviewed and filed accordingly. Yes, filed accordingly. Item. Life here is best described as slow and heavy, very slow and very heavy. Our innate concerns range from our inability to play a decent game of basketball or cook a souffle that rises and stays risen, to the fact that the colony's longevity is impacted by the literally crushing truth that pregnancy is a danger to both mother and child, but most especially the child. Poor little bugger. Being far and away the prime producer of advanced medicines and other pharmaceuticals in the region, indeed it is our primary industry at Arcanon's legacy, This means nothing in the face of such high gravity for those folks hoping to start a family. For this reason, we have established a maternity and paediatric mission in the colonists of Aurora's base Prisma Renata, being of safer levels of gravity, whereby we freely share Canonn expertise with our neighbours facing similar concerns for longevity, and our own mothers-to-be will have a safe place to, safely come to term. Rumours that we have perfected reliable anti-gravity and gravity reduction technologies are, fairy tales, and rumours that I myself screamed obscenities at the gravity laboratory at the Canonn Institute for over 20 minutes prior to coming here are, actually that rumour's true. I can confirm that one. Item, this one's for the locals. Lucy the Chimponobo has been spotted in the vicinity of Capability Park carrying not one but 2 pots of mustard. The kill order against the former System Authority mascot remains in place, and I have 2 briefings daily with Authority Commander Colonel Arnibald Hersvik. And I have to tell you, our words cannot adequately describe the look on his face when I ask him if he's had any luck with Lucy. Never mind the pirates, Arnie. Have you had any luck with that chimp what did a poo in your flight suit? I know you guys are feeding and safeguarding Lucy. He knows you guys are feeding and safeguarding Lucy. Everybody knows, but I tell you, the look on his face, he goes a sort of mauve. It was then purple, and then a sort of tartan. Anyway, it makes my day. Item. In an unofficial poll, Arcanon's Legacy has won the worst colony in the whole universe prize. Topping the poll is believed to be down to the irritation caused by the 30,000 light-second transit from the primary to the planet, which is itself officially classified as, and I quote, bloody ginormous. The high gravity of the planet and colony itself, and yes, the fact that one gets here and finds a beluga liner hogging a pad. Well, you get the picture. Speculation that some voted out of protest against the choice of councillor to act as governor here have been, basically ignored by yours truly. Related speculation that Cannoneers are afforded a gin ration along with all the best biscuits and unlimited cafeteria and bar expenses are, true. They're true. Totally true. I made sure of that. Item. Following our official state opening last week, Dr. Arcanonn has returned to the bubble to equip himself with a better ship to assist bounty hunting patrols with. Allegations that I have moved into his office because mine is full of empty bottles and he gets a cleaner are, I'll leave you all to speculate. But I will say this in case the doc is listening, somebody appears to have spilt ink all over that rug you like. A full investigation is underway. Item? No further items. But to say that we're thinking of you in the rest of Canonn space and hope you're thinking of us out here. But as ever, in the words of a philosopher, and I can't remember his name, we are all each other. Safe skies and warm floors to all of you in Canonn space. This is Nicholas Powell on behalf of Canonn Faction News signing off. Ta-ta.
Thank you for listening to Canonn Faction News.